Everyone thinks this is a joke. Everyone laughs in every courtroom in here at you. And I don't think it's funny for people to laugh at a black man going through what he's going through right now.
And that's what you shouted out in the actual courtroom?
In the actual courtroom, and it's not funny. Laughing at black man legacy being destroyed.
And how did Diddy react?
Well, I heard he had his mouth open and shaking his head, yeah. Black American men do not believe in this kind of destroying of our black American legacy figures, father figures, extraordinary excellency, black excellence. Everyone has been laughing. I don't care if it sounded funny, it's not funny.
Trial. Frank Piazza testified hotel surveillance footage of Combs assaulting former girlfriend Cassie Ventura was not altered. The next witness is expected to be a woman who will testify that Combs once dangled her over a balcony. Combs denies all the allegations. ABC's Rena Roy and legal contributor trial attorney Brian Buckmeyer are outside the courthouse. Rena, what's the latest from court?
Well, Diane, Frank Piazza is still on the stand this morning, and he is telling jurors a little bit more about that 2016 video where we see Sean Diddy Combs dragging and kicking Cassie Ventura at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles. Now, as you pointed out, he testified that that video was not manually altered. And he says that there are no anomalies in that video that would corroborate the defense's suggestion that the footage was manipulated somehow. Now, this testimony really gave prosecutors another chance to show the video to jurors once again, multiple times. Piazza walked them through the footage, showing Combs attacking Ventura, also throwing a vase at Cassie Ventura. And she testified that she was trying to escape a so-called freak-off during that time that turned violent, and that's why she was trying to get out of the hotel. And prosecutors are hoping that this convinces the jury that Ventura was coerced into those sexual encounters.
Brian, Frank Piazza's main task here is to assure the jury that the hotel assault video is legit. But is this also a way for a prosecution to show this video to the jury again?
Absolutely. This is the strongest piece of evidence that the government has in terms of the alleged allegations, so the alleged violence that they are purporting that Sean Combs put on not only Cassie, but others. And so the ability to remind the jury of what Sean Combs is capable of at the beginning of the trial, the middle of the trial, and probably again close to summations only strengthens their case as they expect to have more witnesses take the stand to testify about Sean Combs' violence to them and others based on the allegations they have in this case.
Rena, Brianna Bongalan is expected to take the stand next and expected to testify that Combs once dangled her over a balcony. How's the prosecution trying to tie that to the charges Diddy's facing?
Yeah, well, Brianna Bongalan, Diane, known as Bana, she's expected to take the stand pretty soon at this point. And she filed a lawsuit against Combs last year, accusing him of dangling her off that 17th floor balcony. You see her there arriving to court earlier this morning. And prosecutors are hoping this shows another example of apparent violence that these alleged victims say that Combs created a culture of fear and control with. And prosecutors are hoping that this convinces the jury that Combs is a man that uses that kind of violence as part of his criminal enterprise.
And Brian, how do you think the defense is going to handle Bana's testimony?
So earlier today, we know that Bongalan did receive immunity, so it's likely that she's going to testify to something criminal in nature. And so there's a number of ways the defense could attack her credibility, either through the fact that she's testifying to protect herself, testifying to protect Cassie, testifying even because she has a $10 million lawsuit that she filed against Sean Combs. So it's going to be the reasons why she's going after Sean Combs that will be attacked here. And also the fact that there is little to no actual evidence of all these events happening. We've seen a similar strategy with Mia in this case as to how they're trying to say this never happened based on a lack of evidence that's purported in this case.
All right, Rena Roy, Brian Buckmeyer, thank you both. And for more on the Combs trial, catch the ABC News Live show Burden of Proof.
Cassie's friend was testified for the prosecutor. She was cross-examined a little bit today, and she will be cross-examined more tomorrow. So with that being said, Ronnie, let's talk about it. Let's catch up with the Diddy case. You know, what's your take so far when it comes to the prosecutors, try to build a case against Diddy, but also Diddy's, defense is trying their best to cross-examine and try to plead their case as well.
See, this is the thing. A lot of people are misconstruing, right? They getting the two things messed up. They think because people are trying to figure out why the prosecution keeps going over the domestic violence that transpired between Diddy and Cassie at that hotel, because they're trying to plant to show that Diddy was running an enterprise for the RICO. Remember, we trying to see where they're gonna get Diddy on the RICO. They're trying to get Diddy on the RICO to show that he been doing the enterprise. He been coercing these employees, getting them to the point of fear, to the point that they had to do what he said. So there we go, High King. That's why they're gonna get him probably on the racketeering, because they're like on the RICO, because they're like, hey, you see, he's using his enterprise to scare these people away. So that's the reason why they were doing certain things. So when it came to aspect of these free calls, so Cassie didn't want to do it not against her will. So he used to abuse her, hurt her, and this and that. The prosecutor, I'm not gonna lie, they're doing a good job proving that case. So he might be charged for that one. But when it comes to the sex trafficking one, that's the only one I'm still like he might be that one, because they have not proved any form of sex trafficking yet. But you never know what they got hooked up. But the prosecution are coming hard this week. They're trying to get these jurors to say guilty, guilty, guilty. But they might get him guilty, guarantee on that RICO right there, Hakeem. They got him on that one. They got him. Go ahead.
Yes, I do feel that, but you know what I mean. But I'm still just having a problem, like the burden of proof, like, and that she is the only victim. You know what I mean? And I know in the court of law, I know they can make anything stick. I'm just still wondering, like, how is this going to work? That's my only gripe about it. You know what I'm saying?
He got Cassie. Remember, they got Cassie on the video. They also have him. Remember, they had yesterday. We didn't go over it, but they had wanted to get the guy that working in the hotel room. The hotel room, and they have him saying, "Hey, Diddy was willing to pay him," and he actually called them. So they got the text message like, "Hey, Diddy was like, yo, I'll pay you 100." So it doesn't look good, Hakeem. They might get him on that one. So you have all those key components. So they're like, okay, we're gonna get him on the RICO. Just in case if we don't get him on the sex trafficking, we got him on the RICO, which is 20 years.
Yeah, like
I did my homework
no,
on this.
did.
I was saying that, like, dang, but yeah, they got him. They got him on that one. I'm telling you,
the
they got him
thing
on that
is,
RICO.
like, to me, that tape was the strongest evidence that they have and everything, especially for the prosecutor. And that's how if we're gonna use it, we're gonna try our best to get all the testimonies that we could get from who was in the hotels. When it comes to Cassie, because the other person, the hotel person who was in it and everything, and also pushing all these drugs over the years that Diddy used to use with Cassie or with other people as well. So they're really, really pushing that part as well. But the thing is about it, how can I tell you this? Remember, it's not over yet. We still got maybe a week or two until the prosecutor finishes all the testification, and then after that, it'll be the defense's turn to bring the people that they got to testify as well. So it's not over yet. We still got a long way to go. The prosecutors ain't doing a good job. They kind of making it stick for so that Jordan can say, okay, he's guilty when it comes to the racketeering and everything. So, but like I said, Hakeem, we got a lot more left. So like I said, we're gonna keep covering it right now, and like I said, we got more and more coming. I just can't wait. Once the prosecution's done, we'll hear for the defense, and they bring their people. Me too. Because I really want to know, what the defense gonna do. Because like I said, Brian Steele, to me, he's the out of all the Diddy's lawyers, I think Brian Steele, he's the best of the best.
Yeah, he's the best. Yeah,
he's the best.
Facts. But let's see. But that one right there, they got me on them. I was like, damn, Diddy was like running a really strong enterprise. So let's see, man. But things right now not looking good for Diddy. But Jordan, I'm with you on that one. The fans can come in there strong, slam dunk. Diddy will be walking out a free man. If not, he gonna need Donald Trump's help. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember to click on, because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Like always, shout out to those watching us all across the board. We really do greatly appreciate you guys for tuning in on this.